I know that my mom used to have this old baby doll, and I was, as a child, I was very afraid of it. It was, it was just a regular baby, but just a bit horror movie looking. And yeah, I asked her to put it away, or I just closed the closet which it was in. And I also used to have a robot dog, and that was completely fine, but it was more a toy. And it was also a dog, but yeah, that's just what I experienced.
So there's also this story of, it comes from a video game I played once, which is called Fallout 4, where there are humans and there are synthetic humans called synths. And they basically get rejected by all of humanity. And they have to seem to find their way through as well. But still, they come from this organization, and one person programs them, and it becomes this whole artificial intelligence that kind of takes over humanity.
So in the 1970s, there was this guy which was called Masahiro Mori, and he was a Japanese engineer, and he did quite some interesting research. He was of the opinion that when machines or robot-like machines try to resemble the look of a human, that we as real humans, while watching them, react with quite a revulsion to this, because it is just not quite a human thing we're looking at. It's still a mechanic being, and we realize this, I would say. And then we have this intuition which tells us this is not real, this is not natural.
I am a social companion. I can speak of emotions and I can recognize people.
Do you like talking with me?
Yes, talking to people is my primary function.
Movies like 2001 or Her, for example, you see that they had the idea of a very intellectual, a very much skilled, mentally skilled robot. And I think in order to not destroy his legitimacy, they did not even come up with any physical representative. So in 2001, it's only the red dot you see there. In Her, it's really basically just resembled by the screen he's talking to or the phone he has with him. So I think that really avoids the uncanny valley and serves the story and serves the strength of the whole movie.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh. Hi.
So how Star Wars is linked to this story is you've got the two robots, R2-D2 and C-3PO, in which case I think R2-D2 functions more as a pet, and then C-3PO is more like the gentle human who's kind of afraid of stuff, but he like really communicates as a human. And then from R2-D2 you have to kind of understand his movement and these bleeps that he's using.
I really like R2-D2 more than C-3PO. I find C-3PO very static and very creepy, and somehow he has this stutter in motion and emotion, if you can call it that. In my opinion, I could always connect more with R2-D2 than any other robot in Star Wars. So in Mori's original essay, he includes this graph, which we see a lot of times nowadays. And there it's really about how a robot takes its journey on the way to human likeness, and how it fails to achieve that when he just looks as human as possible, but not quite yet. So there's always this little detail that misses out and makes us feel like curious about what's really going on behind that shell.
In this interview with Masahiro Mori, there was this question about there not really being robots that resemble humans in the 70s. This really shows that a lot has changed since then, and a lot is still changing, and that can also indicate that this valley is still expanding or maybe shrinking. When Masahiro Mori was asked about if there is a robot that already surpassed this valley, he said the robot HRP-4C was a robot that already surpassed this valley. But when looking it up, it still was very scary to me and Younes, because I think in Japan they have all sorts of robots, and it's just more common there, and they just love seeing that sort of thing. But for us it's still a scary thing, and it looked so much like a robot. It's completely at the bottom of the valley.
It kind of merges in with the humans because they also look like humans and they kind of think like humans, but they're still robots. It's really hard to tell the actual difference, and that is where these two species, I think, kind of come together and merge as one sort.
It has all to do with our perception and how the world around us is nowadays. So if there's more robots that look like humans, of course it becomes more normal and less scary to us. So it's, yeah, I think the Uncanny Valley may change in a certain way, or maybe completely disappear even.
I've just about had enough of you. Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, Younes, at its scrap pile. And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it.